Hello, I'm Chris McKenna from Protect Young Eyes, and we are going to have a conversation about building layers of protection around our kids. And that's what's necessary today. We can't just put one toggle in place or maybe just buy some piece of software and just forget it. In other words, there's no set it and forget it in the digital age. There's no toggle that replaces our parenting, and we need to wrap them in multiple layers of protection because there are doorways to technologies and to websites that are often outside of our control. And so I want to talk about 5 layers of protection that we can put around the young people that we care for, whether they're your kids, your grandkids. And it starts with the relationship. You'll see that these 5 layers, they're either relational or they're technical, and sometimes a combination of both. The first one is very relational, and it comes from years of presentations at Protect Young Eyes, having talked to tens of thousands of families just like yours, where we've observed that certain families end up having kids who learn how to use technology in a good, positive, God-honoring way. And so we've talked to them. What is it that you're doing? And they've shared with us the following things. These are 5 phrases, right? Copy me, co-play, curiosity, conversation, and coaching. And these 5 phrases are what make up our digital trust framework. That families who do these 5 things consistently and persistently often have children who learn how to use technology in a good and positive way. Now, we do a whole talk, 90 minutes, just on those. I'm going to talk about them in 90 seconds here, and you can always come visit us at protectyoungeyes.com for more information. But a quick flyover of those 5 phrases in our digital trust framework, which is layer 1 in our 5 layers of digital protection. Copy me. Could they use their technology just like you, and would you be proud of that? Pretty self-explanatory. Number 2, co-play. Are you doing technology with your kids? From a very young age, I want our children to know that technology is a we activity and not just a singular me activity, shoulder to shoulder. Number 3, curiosity. If all of your tech conversations are consequence, negativity, and yelling, then what are the chances they're going to come and talk to you? Be curious. Sit down next to them. Watch and play with them. That goes back to co-play. You can see how those interact. And that leads hopefully into great conversations about all of the awkward things that nobody talked to you about. All of them. Because I don't want Dr. TikTok or Dr. YouTube to be their authority. I want you to be the authority, and that comes by talking to them. And then finally, coaching. Not just controlling, but coaching. Now, at younger ages, for younger children in elementary school, we do a lot more controlling. I don't want to talk to a 5-year-old after he or she has seen pornography. I just want to control and prevent it. But as children get older, we let some of those controls go so they can learn how to use technology on their own, because at some point they're gonna have to move out and use it without us and see your job more as a coach who wants them to succeed, who's in there with them, learning with them, giving them some agency and some ownership so they can learn how to use technology under your guidance. So friends, that's layer 1. That's the digital trust framework. Copy me, co-play, curiosity, conversation, and coaching. Layer 2 is your Wi-Fi layer. And this is the layer that we often are the most afraid of because, well, we don't understand our router, but I want us to. I want us to embrace the power that our router can have, a router that has controls in it. And you can visit us again at our website. We do a whole breakdown of routers, what ones we recommend, because I've used them on my own kids. I'm not going to recommend anything that my own guinea pig children that I haven't practiced on them first. But that's a spot that is really undervalued, but is so critical. I know some things have data plans. We'll get to that in just a minute. But some things don't. Your smart TV, Chromebooks, Xbox, Kindle, tablets, right? Those are often on Wi-Fi, so they're depending on the purity of that Wi-Fi signal that is in your home. And I want us to have that under control. That's layer 2. Layer 3 are the devices themselves. This is for a little bit of a belt and suspenders approach because yes, they work on Wi-Fi, but they also work on a data plan, right? On a cellular network. And I want the device itself to have controls in place. That could be through software. That could be through what's already on the device. Apple devices have screen time that you can toggle on. That's free. Android devices have Family Link. That's free. I want us to have that device layer of controls also in place because you can't always depend on the Wi-Fi layer to give you what you want because maybe they're on an unfiltered Wi-Fi network somewhere, some restaurant, somebody's house. That's where the device has to pick up the slack. And again, sometimes those decisions around what software to select, that can be hard. We've done that research so you can come to us and ask for some assistance there. Also, when it comes to those devices, I'm going to tell you something that you've probably, if you're familiar with us, you've heard me say before, but let's delay those smart data devices that have apps and games and social media as long as possible. There are kid-friendly devices that give us talk, text, GPS, ways to stay in touch with our kiddos without giving them the baggage of some of those more dangerous places that can also do some of the heavy lifting in that device layer. Again, please come visit. We've done all the testing and you can see what some of those kid-friendly devices are. The fourth layer that we want to have our eye on is the location. There are certain places where I simply don't want kids to be online, and if they are, as infrequently as possible, like bedrooms, at sleepovers, school buses are a real trouble spot. Those kinds of places, sleepovers, right? Even grandma and grandpa's home, because often there's a little less monitoring and maybe a little less understanding around technologies, and that can also be a trouble spot. So be aware of those locations. And then the final part of these 5 layers, right? Relational, digital trust, number 2, Wi-Fi, number 3, device, number 4, location, is at the app level. And that one's at the top. Imagine it like a pyramid, right? Relational at the bottom, which is the widest part and the strongest and most important part of the pyramid. And at the very tippy top, that pointed little triangle at the top of the pyramid, we have app controls because they're often the least reliable. This is where we're toggling on whatever Snapchat might have or whatever YouTube might have. And those controls are too often easily toggled off or don't quite line up with your own morals or your own ideas about what is inappropriate or appropriate. So they're the least reliable. For those that exist, we should absolutely put them in place, but I want us to understand that they're at the top and the thinnest part because they are the least reliable. So friends, that's what it takes in the digital age. Multiple layers, and having those in place. I can't guarantee that your son or daughter will always use technology well, but I'm a guy who focuses on mitigating risk as much as possible, and I am confident that if you do those 5 things persistently and consistently, the probability of having your son or daughter or grandson or granddaughter use technology in a good, positive way go up significantly. If you have questions about any of those layers, please come visit us, follow us on social media, and you can find us at protectyoungeyes.com. Take care.